Good evening and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Tonight, we're very fortunate and privileged to have with us, and it's quite an honor for me to have with me tonight the Presidential Communications Office Secretary Jose Ruperto Martin Marfori Andanar. Secretary Martin, mayang gabi and welcome to my show. It's quite an honor na ikaw yung in-interview ko when in fact you usually interview people from the national level.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for being here.
The pleasure is mine. Mayong gabi po, Dr. Dinno.
Yes.
And to all of the viewers, mayong gabi kaninyong tanan.
Secretary Martin, maybe a brief background of yourself, no, because a lot of our viewers would like to know you better. Maybe I understand, Secretary Martin, you're from Surigao. Maybe you can share a bit of your fond memories back in Surigao.
Well, I'm from 3 provinces. My father is from Siargao Island, Surigao, so I'm a Surigaonon. My mother is from Cagayan de Oro, so I'm also Cagayanon.
Yes.
My grandmother is from Bohol,
Okay.
so I'm also Bolanon. I've lived in Surigao, Cebu, Cagayan de Oro,
Wow.
and studied. We speak the vernacular
Yes.
at home, so I can speak fluent Bisaya and Surigaonon at the same time.
Better than me because you can speak fluent Cebuano really, sir. So dili siya mabaligya diri sa Dumaguete.
Baligya.
Now, sir, I also understand you're into sports. Maybe you can share, to the sports-loving people of Dumaguete, maybe what sports are you involved in?
I swim.
Wow.
When I was in grade school, I started swimming, and then I got the habit again at the age of 30 for about 10 years until I reached 40. I also started running at an early, at the age of 20, 28. What other sport? Basketball. I was part of the junior varsity in Xavier University, Ateneo de Cagayan, and also in Jasams High School.
Wow.
That's about how far sports took me. Pag college, wala na. Kulang sa talent.
Sir, for purposes of educating our viewers, what does the Presidential Communications Office do exactly for the Office of the President? Maybe you can share that with our viewers.
Well, we have a very unique organization. It used to be the Office of the Press Secretary, and all of the government media agencies are under the Presidential Communications Operations Office.
Okay.
So we do have the Philippine News Agency, PTV, Radyo Pilipinas, all the FM radio stations, FM1, FM2, Bureau of Communication Services, Radio Television Malacanang.
Okay.
This is the outfit that manages the President's events, coverages, everything. The National Printing Office. We do also have the Apple Production Unit. This is the agency that prints the passports.
Okay.
And IBC 13. So it's all of the communications agencies are under this office, and what we really do is we ensure that these platforms are working properly.
Okay.
So if you have the presidential spokesperson talking, we make sure the mic works.
Okay.
We make sure the transmitter also runs.
Those details,
Yes.
Okay.
RTVM ensures that there's always a microwave, a satellite, an internet connection for the president to be able to address the entire country. So therefore, we run the hardware.
Okay. Yeah. Now, this early, there are already various disinformation materials that are fueling distrust among Filipinos, making them hesitant, if not possibly opposed to being vaccinated. Okay. How does your office intend to address this concern?
As the office that was appointed by the president to be the strategic communications head for the vaccine program roadmap, we intend to show the public the detailed plans of the government. I mean, there has to be a plan, and the plan must be shown properly, packaged properly, so that the ordinary Filipino would understand the entire plan properly. It's just it's not just a matter of saying that this is what we're going to do. We're going out there and we're going to inoculate every Filipino.
That's right.
These are the vaccines that are available. No, we should kung negosyo pa ni, you show the entire business plan.
Okay. Yeah.
You show marketing, you
That's right.
show sales, you have to show the people, your human resources department,
That's
how you'll
right.
be able to
That's right.
hire the people, the finances, the entire, the whole 9 yards.
Correct.
So we are, in fact, as a matter of fact, Dumaguete is the third stop already for the Presidential Communications Operations Office, and
okay.
our attached agency PIA. It's a third province that we're showing the plan of the IATF and the National Task Force, including the office of Secretary Galvez. I mean, Secretary Galvez heads the vaccine program.
He's called
right
the Tsar for that matter.
now. Yeah,
no?
the czar.
Yeah.
The king of vaccine. So we were in Siquijor. We were also in Cebu City, where we kicked off the entire campaign.
Okay.
And now we're in Dumaguete to show precisely the influencers, or those who are running the show in this city.
Okay.
That this is the plan of the government, and if there are any gaps in the information, we will supply you with the correct information.
That's right.
We will give you toolkits, everything that you need
Okay.
to make the communication process easier, bearable, and understandable.
Okay. Now, sir, in a country that is enamored with show business and sensationalism, how were you able to strengthen the government media presence and making it become a trusted, relevant, empowering source of information?
The first thing that we did was we rearranged the priorities of the Presidential Communications Operations Office. So, for instance, during the time of the past presidents, RTVM's role was merely to record the president, to record the video, and then pass it on to the private sector.
Okay.
So the first thing that we did was we pushed the envelope of RTVM, not just a recorder, but an online streamer of all the events of the president. So meaning no longer a recorder, but also the one that broadcasts the events of the president. So if you notice right now, all of the official events of the president are being streamed on Facebook, or being shown
That's right.
on different platforms of
Correct.
RTVM. So RTVM now has its own platform, has its own soapbox.
Okay.
Unlike before, the videos, the materials would be sent to the different channels, private, PTV, Radyo Pilipinas, Philippine Broadcasting Service, for them to show the people. So right now, you get it straight from the source.
From the horse's mouth. Huh?
From the horse's mouth, without being interpreted or misinterpreted.
That usually causes the problem.
Yeah, that causes a problem. So when the news is skewed, all you have to do is go to RTVM and watch the entirety of the speech of the president, or the statement of the president, and you'll know that it was indeed skewed.
Correct.
So I think that's one of the reasons why it's easier also for the supporters of the president to back him up.
Correct.
Because they have access to information. I mean, this is really about being transparent. So apart from that program of opening the the floodgates of information to the people. Under my watch, we also encouraged, and we were able to get the president's approval for the executive order number 2, which is the freedom of information.
Wow. Okay.
So it was during my watch
Wow.
here at the PCOO, and it was also during my watch that we were able to successfully have the president approve and sign administrative order number 1, which is the Presidential Task Force on Media Security.
Wow. Okay.
And it is also during this watch, this PCOO watch, wherein we were able to assist Congress and also advocate for the Media Workers Welfare
Yeah.
Bill. So it
That
passed.
was actually my next question. What is this all about? What is this particular Media Workers Welfare Act?
This is about securing the future of media workers. You know, the primary reason why media workers are killed in our country is because of their economic vulnerability. They don't have security or job security,
Correct.
job tenure. They don't get employment benefits the same way that the private media,
That's right.
the big private media companies are giving their employees. So we do need to professionalize the industry by protecting the media workers. Now, we do believe that if the workers are being protected, if the workers have a sense of security, of a sense of security that their family will be able to eat the next day and the following day, and then their welfare is being taken care of, then there'd be lesser reason for them to capitulate to offers of either politicians or other characters that would want to control them.
That's right.
Yeah, so this Media Welfare Act that passed Congress and now will be discussed in the Senate is a big step towards that direction. And I would like to congratulate the ACCIS Congresswoman Nina Taduran, also Undersecretary Joel Egco, who is my executive director at the Presidential Task Force on Media Security, where I stand as a co-chairman.
Do you expect this particular legislation to be passed into law anytime soon?
I'm very optimistic about this.
Okay.
If
Okay.
it passed Congress, where there are more than 200 members, so we have 24 members in the Senate,
Okay.
and we have a Senate President who's very supportive of the media. In fact, he's a Senate President that is also part of the media.
Okay, yeah. Correct.
Apart from being an actor and
TV host.
TV host, he was also part of a serious news documentary in GMA7 back in the day.
Okay. Due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic, your office launched the Laging Handa Information and Communications Campaign. Kindly tell us about this program and its impact to the national objective of managing the pandemic.
We're very proud of this, Dok Dinno. Itong Laging Handa, it's an idea that was born in 2016. Because when I was appointed by the president, the first thing that we did was to implement a program that would train our people in crisis communications. And so we came up with Laging Handa program, wherein our people are being trained on how to deal with communications crisis. Wherein all of the government media agencies would have to be arranged in such a way that we move in one direction.
Okay.
So whatever news that PTV produces, then PBS also produces, Philippine News Agency produces. So we move in one direction. We did work hard for this for the last 4 years. Every time there'd be a force majeure, every time that there's a typhoon, we'd activate the laging handa policy. So now, when COVID-19 struck the world, all we had to do was to activate this laging handa, and added an additional layer to it to improve the distribution of information. So since we already have good relations with the kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas,
Okay.
I called for them to meet me in Malacanang,
Okay.
and we thought about simulcasting
Wow.
the Laging Handa program, which
Okay.
airs 11 to 12. So that's how the entire country was informed from March up to this day, especially during those times when we couldn't get a grip of what was happening to us.
Okay.
So by having this Laging Handa platform, wherein we broadcast here, and we're being simulstreamed and simulcast in all television stations around the country and cable stations, we have a command and control in information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir Secretary, can you share to us your impression of Dumaguete City and, of course, our host, especially Mayor Amalia?
This is my second time in Dumaguete City. I think second or third time.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to. Every time that I go here, it mesmerizes me, and would always say to myself that I want to go back because I have not seen enough. I've had so much fun. People are very friendly, very warm. I have so many questions in my mind. I wonder why there's so many retirees in Dumaguete. And then I do my research about the law and order, the safety of the people, because there must be a reason why retired people from all over the world come here. It's like a melting pot of different
That's right.
races. And
That's right.
they go here to enjoy their glass of beer in the Rizal Boulevard. I have yet to see the outskirts of Dumaguete. I've seen a few. I've seen Siquijor, Siaton, but there's so many places to discover in this place, in this city. As a matter of fact, it encourages me because it's hardly hit by typhoon, and floods. There's no great deluge in this place. You have great savannas. Great food, great people, people who can speak very good English because of Silliman University.
Yes.
I work with a cabinet member who's just so brilliant and out of this world when she starts talking because she's so bright. Liling Briones, our Secretary of Education, and we know that she was a pillar in Silliman and continues to be one.
Yes.
I just love the city. I think it's just a city that's one of a kind that every Filipino should visit before he or she tiptoes out of society. Ano, di ba parang?
Yeah.
So, there must be a reason why Jose Rizal stayed for 3 hours in this place.
Yeah.
Walking the boulevard and enjoying the scenery, the fresh air. How should I put it in one word? It's so difficult to put in one word. Captivating.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So I'd love to have a piece of land here in Dumaguete one day.
Quite an honor coming from our Secretary Andanar. Anyways, Sir Secretary, perhaps as a parting message, we both acknowledge that 2020 was a difficult year. Do you believe that this year, 2021, will be better for the Filipinos?
If there's one thing we have hope.
We have optimism. 2020 could go down in history as the rock bottom of planet Earth in this generation. Everybody went through a lot. So many of my friends lost a family member. I lost a family member and a whole succumbed to COVID-19. It wasn't easy, but I believe that it's humanity that will keep us together. That humanity I see in every Filipino. I see in every leader that I meet, in Cebu, in Superior, in Baguio, in Dinno T, in senior, junior, and youth leaders that I meet day to day. I see it in the eyes of farmers who couldn't sell their produce at the same price that they used to, that they would sell them, or couldn't even sell them, and just throw away their produce. I see the gusto to survive. And as Filipinos, we are resilient. We're born with a fighting spirit. And no amount of difficulty will put us down because of our fighting faith to our God. And be that Muslim, Christian, Catholic.
But we are very faithful, and we have so much optimism.
This year, 2021, will be clearer, will be better, give us a future that we have not even imagined would arrive in our doorsteps. I say that because we survived it. And when you survive a pandemic, when you survive the most difficult challenge that is given to you, then it brings out the best. Right? Brings out
The best in you, Dok Dinno, best in me, the best in our cameraman. Because we only have one goal, and I believe that one goal is to continue to further humanity.
That's right.
So we will survive.
Well said, Secretary Andanar.
Thank you.
Secretary Andanar, thank you very much.
For being my guest tonight. Really an honor and pleasure to have you sit down and be my guest for my talk show.
Thank you, Dok Dinno, and thank you to all the viewers. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this.
Thank you, sir. So please do follow and like us on our Twitter, Instagram,
And Facebook, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am Dok Dinno. This is our show for tonight. Be well.